Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. All right, let's talk about where I was yesterday. I wasn't in New York, where it seemed the whole boxing world had gathered. I was in the Northeast. I was in Newcastle for BAKHRAM MURTAZALIEV versus Josh Kelly, which was a bit of a surprise, if I'm honest with you. In fact, more than a bit. That must be front runner for upset of the year. Like, it's going to take something big, I think, to beat that. And that's not taken away from Josh Kelly's brilliance. But I think a lot of people had BAKHRAM winning that. Regardless of the ring rust and how long he's been out of the ring, I think a lot of people thought he was going to get to Josh. And it seemed as though he did get to him in, round 9, 10. But I think a lot of people thought he was going to get to Josh and stop him. And in the end, it was a masterful, brilliant boxing performance from Josh Kelly. Like, brilliant. Like, tactically, they got it spot on. And big credit to the whole team, to Adam Booth. I mean, they just nailed it. BAKHRAM looked so one-paced. And look, to be honest, that's just how he fights, right? That's his style, and Josh Kelly has his style, and which style would prevail. But you almost felt like, okay, BAKHRAM needs to kind of just up it a little bit here. It was the same pace from round 1 to 12, which, I mean, is good, right? It's testament to his fitness. But in order to kind of stop Josh Kelly in his tracks, you kind of got to go through the gears a little bit. Like when you watch the Ishmael Davis fight, bear in mind Ishmael took that on late notice. Ishmael, I felt, was always scared or a bit hesitant to go through the gears because he's probably thinking, okay, if I go through the gears early, there's not going to be much left down the stretch. And when he went like down the stretch, when he went up the gears, you saw how he kind of got to Josh Kelly a little bit. So I thought BAKHRAM might do that. I thought he might start slow. You know, Josh Kelly, we know, has got wonderful feet, good hands, good power. I think we saw that, right? But I think BAKHRAM and his team thought, okay, he's going to slow down. He's going to slow down, and once he slows down, we're going to get him. If he isn't slowing down, you've got to force the action a bit more to slow him down. And he didn't really do that. He didn't. So, yeah, look, a bit of a surprise to me, but a magnificent win for Josh Kelly. I think we've always thought of Josh Kelly as being that guy. That guy that could compete against the very best in the world. Everyone's spoken about his talent. I think most people have maybe questioned him mentally. Is he willing to kind of really go there? And that's what you're going to need to become a world champion. And he did yesterday. He went there. Like when he got hurt, he was hurt. That shot landed really good. What was it? A left hook, I think, from BAKHRAM. It landed and his legs crumbled. And he was hurt for about a good minute after, and then he started kind of shaking his legs out again. Then he just started doing what he does. And that box on the back foot, look, some people like it, some people don't. And I said this to Tony, like, I said, are the judges going to give him, you know, the rounds for what he's doing, which is ultimately kind of just picking off, isn't he? He's not really landing significant punches. He's kind of scoring and, hate to say it, maybe running a little bit. But when he does engage, he was engaging well. Like, what he did was very smart. Like, they were almost burst in every round where he won the round because of a burst. It was almost like, okay, 20 seconds, brr, and then we're on our bike and we're circling. And he did that well. And I mean, I guess what really kind of helped him was the knockdown. BAKHRAM's legs were square on. He landed a knockdown. That's a 10-8 round. And now you're confident. Now you know you can hurt him. Now you know that your speed can bamboozle him to the point where he is square on. So look, it was a really good win. BAKHRAM was super disappointing though. So I don't know what I expected. Obviously, look, he's been labelled the boogeyman of the division just because of that win over Tim Tszyu. Not just because of the win, but he got the win, then he's been frozen out. No one wanted to fight him, right? Everyone was doing the risk-reward thing, and the risk was too high for the reward. He's not a big ticket seller. He's not a pay-per-view draw. So how much are you getting? Some might say, well, you're getting the belt. But yeah, but how much money are you getting, which is important? Not a lot. Josh decided, okay, we'll take that risk. We'll take that risk. We've seen something in him. They probably looked at the Jack Culcay fight, and I mentioned that on my preview video, where Jack Culcay was having his way. And ultimately, Culcay is 40. He hasn't got the legs of a Josh Kelly who's, what, 31, 32. He hasn't got that. So Josh backed himself to be able to move around the ring for 12 rounds, and Culcay couldn't. And eventually, BAKHRAM got to Culcay, couldn't get to Josh, or at least he did, but it was too late. It was too late. So look, fantastic victory. We don't get many world champions in the Northeast. Stuart Hall, male world champion, was the last one. He's from Darlington. That was 2013. Before that, fucking hell, Glenn McCrory, 89 cruiserweight title. I mean, is that obviously Savannah Marshall? But I'm talking male world. It's not a hotbed for male world champions. So hopefully, this can open up something in that region. Now look, the 154 division is frightening. Honestly, it's frightening. You've got non-world champions who are better than world champions. You've got Xander Zayas, who beat Barao yesterday in Puerto Rico, split decision. I need to watch that if I haven't seen it. When a home fighter gets a split decision, I kind of question the result a bit. So I need to watch that fight. But you've got Xander Zayas, who's got the 2 belts. You've got Sebastian Findora, who's got the WBC. Now, obviously, you've got Josh Kelly, who's got the IBF. Look at the people that don't have belts. I mean, you could, look at the ones that don't have. And the 2 obvious ones are Boots and Virgil. Those don't have belts. Don't have belts, people. So there are some really good fighters. Josh, I believe, is signed to fight Boots. Don't know about that. I mean, Boots is going to fight, I think Eddie mentioned something, or was it Ben Whittaker mentioned Atlanta? And I'm guessing that's going to be very soon. Josh Kelly is not going to turn around to fight that soon. So I'm guessing the hope is Boots will have one, which won't be Virgil. And if they don't do Virgil, they'll go for Josh Kelly's IBF title. I don't know if Josh Kelly can get him to Sunderland. I don't know if that's possible, but that will be his best bet of a victory. That's a whole different fight, though. Now you're fighting someone that has fast feet as well and fast hands and is fresh and doesn't look dead at the weight. I mean, BAKHRAM looked awful at the weight. And I do wonder about that IBF rehydration cap. Maybe that was an issue because he looked, I mean, gee, there's nothing of him. I mean, again, this guy was a 160 fighter, but he came in really light 152, which clearly was a mistake. And I just feel like he looked really flat. But that's not to take anything from Josh Kelly, who looked really, really good. Look, Josh Kelly, Conor Benn, maybe. I mean, those two have always been linked. Conor Benn's last fight was at 160. I mean, it's easier to go to 154 than it is 147. But obviously, Conor's got more money fights in the States. But look, good win for Josh Kelly. Very happy for the team. Very happy for him as well. He's been for a lot outside the ring that maybe people don't know about. So this is a good victory for him. And now he knows he belongs. He belongs. He's one of the best fighters in the world. A world title in a tough division says that. So well done to him. Elif Turan. I've given her a lot of praise, rightly so, because she's been on this run. And you have to credit someone, especially with the way in which she knocked out Beatrice Ferreira. But her yesterday against that Grenton, awful. Like, you know, I don't want to ever be that bad on the broadcast. I leave that to Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew will always speak his mind. But I can do it here. So bad. Like, so bad. Like, she needs to look at that training setup. She needs to look at that training. She's got the power, which is rare in female boxing. So you've already got one thing. Let's build around that. The jab is non-existent. The uppercut's non-existent. Doesn't really hook. Doesn't know how to fight on the back foot because she's so much used to being the aggressor. Nah. When she isn't fighting someone that wants to have a phone booth fight with her, she just looks all over the place. Like, Shauna Brown thought she was going to knock her out because Shauna Brown can punch. And Shauna Brown just stood in the wheelhouse and got chinned. And then she had another fight. The girl, again, tried to fight her, got chinned. Beatrice Ferreira, she's known for trying to fight, got chinned. If it's someone that's boxing her, she's going to have a problem. And I saw that yesterday, and it was like, she's gone, like, she was my fighter of the year, female fighter of the year, and I'm like, what have I done? She looked like just a novice, like a complete novice who had never boxed, but is known for, maybe like someone like, she looked like someone that is like doing MMA, and their thing is really just jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and they've learnt a bit of striking. She looked really bad for a world champion, like one of the worst performances I've ever seen from her. And I know I'm being harsh, but I thought she looked real. The swinging just has to stop. Like that constant just, I'm going to knock her out of one of these has to stop. Like, just like, fucking hell. Jesus, man. Josh Padley, happy for him, European champion, but his opponent, is it Balmedi? I don't even need to get his name up. Like, what was that about? He wasn't right from when he entered the ring. Like, I got such a good vantage point. So, if like, I'm like here on the corner where he is. So he's come in the ring, and I'm there, and I'm watching him, and he's just like that. Most people get in the ring and they're moving about and they're jumping, they're doing everything. They do just to stay loose. He's in the ring and he's frozen. I'm like, is this guy okay? Like, I've never seen someone so stiff looking. Like, he looked really stiff. I remember putting it out to Tony, and Tony started telling me about his armpits. Like, his armpits are bleeding or so. I don't know. But look, not to take anything away from Josh Padley, but there was something up with his opponent. But Josh won't care. He's a European champion, super featherweight division, which is booming. And that European title opens up some doors. But people are going to have to look at that opponent. I knew he was chinny because I was there when he got chinned by Gary Cully. Was I at that fight? I was at that fight. But I thought, okay, that was at 135. Gary Cully's a big 135 pounder. Maybe coming down to 130 is okay. He's awful. He's awful. I've never seen someone so stiff in the corner. So that might be the last time we see him. I think it should be. But yeah, look, happy for Josh. I don't know what's next. If not Boots, then let's see if we can grow a fan base by getting a name, someone, doesn't have to be a killer, just a name over to Sunderland, and let's kind of grow it. I don't know how many were in the Utility Arena. I don't know what the capacity is. I can actually give you a guess actually as to how many were in the Utility Arena, Newcastle. Capacity 11,000. If that's the case, I would say there was about 6 to 7 in there, which is not shabby. He needs to be able to fill it. He needs to fill it to know that. Like, if you are trying to get Boots over to the UK, I mean, we know Boots can do an arena in Philly. Boots would be like, you come to Philly, I do you don't sell out your gaff, I sell out mine. So he needs to show that he can sell it out, and then there could be a bit of money on that one. All right, guys, girls, peace and love.